Hello and welcome to another very beautiful chapter of another real life story filled with raw emotions and lots of leadership lessons. Well, you're watching Life Unfiltered with Anu only on Olive Suno Radio Network. Life Unfiltered with Anu पर मेरे आज के मेहमान बेहद ख़ास हैं और ये ख़ास सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि इनका ओहदा या इनका रुतबा बहुत बड़ा है, बल्कि इसलिए हैं क्योंकि जो जिम्मेदारी ये निभा रहे हैं हम सबको उस पर बेहद फ़ख्र है. He is not just the official representative for all of us in Qatar, but he is someone who ensures that every Indian in Qatar feels safe, heard, and connected. It's my great privilege to welcome on Life Unfiltered with Anu today His Excellency Mr. Vipul, Ambassador of India to the State of Qatar. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anu.
So, sir, being an ambassador, आप इतनी बड़ी कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. पर्सनली एंड प्रोफेशनली इस रिप्रेजेंटेशन का आपके लिए क्या मायने हैं? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट मीन्स टू यू?
Well, बहुत बड़े मायने. We all know that India is such a big country and such a historic country. Our civilization is so old. And therefore, to represent India in any case is a moment of great pride for me.
Right.
तो अगर मैं पर्सनली सोचूं तो प्राउड फीलिंग आती है कि इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. रिप्रेजेंटिंग एनी कंट्री इज़ अ बिग थिंग, बट रिप्रेजेंटिंग इंडिया इज़ इवन बिगर. प्रोफेशनली अगर सोचें तो बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का काम है. इफ़ यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग इंडिया तो आपके जो बिहेवियर में, कैरेक्टर में, काम में, everywhere that responsibility has to show up.
Right.
So it's a big thing.
So क्या बचपन में आपने कभी सोचा था कि बड़े होकर एक दिन इस तरह से आप भारत को विदेशों में रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे? Was it like somewhere a hidden desire या फिर how it started?
No, I don't think कि बचपन में आप इतना सोच सकते हो कि आप एम्बेसडर बनोगे, and especially coming from a regular Indian middle class background.
Right.
आप छोटे छोटे शहरों में रह रहे हैं. मेरा बचपन जो यूपी के छोटे शहरों में रहा हमेशा.
ओरिजिनली कहाँ से शुरुआत हुई?
ओरिजिनली सब हरिद्वार, रुड़की, जो वेस्टर्न यूपी में उस समय होते थे, अभी उत्तराखंड का पार्ट है. एंड देन वी लिव्ड फॉर सम टाइम इन द हिल्स. और उसके बाद फिर लखनऊ में मैंने अपनी क्लास 12th करी. तो उस समय जाहिर तौर पे ये कभी नहीं आता कि आप एम्बेसडर बनोगे, पर हाँ सिविल सर्विसेज का एक जो ड्रीम था, ख्वाब था, that I think those seeds were sown by my father, who always wanted me to come into the civil services.
All right.
और सिविल सर्विसेज में जो मेन हम लोग का होता था वो या तो फॉरेन सर्विसेज का या एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विसेज का ज़्यादा चार्म होता था. एंड ऑफ कोर्स एक छोटा सा, जब आप बड़े हो जाते हो थोड़े 11th-12th में, तब आपको ये रहता है कि हाँ आप इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कभी कर सकते हो.
एस्पिरेशंस बढ़ती हैं.
बट दैट इज ओनली इन पासिंग दैट यू थिंक अबाउट. आई मीन यू डोंट थिंक अबाउट इट, बट यस.
सो ओवरऑल घर का माहौल कैसा था? लाइक व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ फैमिली यू वर इन? सिबलिंग्स के साथ, कजिन्स के साथ क्या माहौल? सो
बेसिकली आई एंड माय ब्रदर वर द ओनली two in the family, along with my mother and father. My father passed away 2-3 years back. But जो माहौल था वो तो पढ़ाई लिखाई का ही ज़्यादा रहता था. और ये था कि आप अच्छे से पढ़ो और अच्छे से खेलो. Those were the two mottos of life when I was a kid. So thankfully we were good enough in studies. So आगे बढ़ते गए उसके बाद. And I had a lot of relatives, mostly इन विलेजेस. तो हम लोग को थोड़ा ये भी रहता था फादर की तरफ से कि नहीं अच्छे से करना है. एंड
एक सर्विस का भाव था शुरू से.
That's right.
That feeling was there. But then what exactly inspired you to take up diplomacy as a career?
Well, as I said, my father always said that we should go into civil services.
Okay.
And diplomacy or foreign service was quite high.
Right.
In civil services. So that was always there. And as a small kid, or when you are growing up, it's much later that you actually get to know exactly what foreign service means.
Right.
But हाँ ये हमेशा रहेगा कि आप इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करोगे, and that has always been there.
So this feeling.
Yeah. So that yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But ये बताइए जनरली बिकॉज जैसा अभी आपने जिक्र भी किया कि एक नॉर्मल मिडिल क्लास फैमिली में एस्पिरेशंस होती हैं एंड पेरेंट्स का मोटिवेशन हमेशा रहता है कि कुछ अच्छा करना है. जब आप ये अचीव कर लेते हैं, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऑल टुगेदर.
Yes.
बट एज अदर सिविलियंस या फिर दूसरे लोगों की तरह अगर आप देखें बात करें तो उनको लगता है अरे अब तो लाइफ सॉर्टेड है, एम्बेसडर साहब हैं, लाइफ कितनी आसान है, 4 मीटिंग्स अटेंड करनी है, 2 इनॉग्रेशंस करने हैं, इट्स सो परफेक्ट.
Correct.
ये बताइए, बिकॉज आज आप लाइफ अनफिल्टर्ड विद अनु पर हैं, क्या वाकई एक एम्बेसडर की लाइफ इतनी सिंपल, इतनी इजी होती है, या फिर क्या चैलेंजेस हैं जो यू नो व्हिच आर बियॉन्ड इमेजिनेशन?
Well, बहुत सारे challenges होते हैं और
Right.
responsibility itself is big enough that you are representing India.
जी,
और डिप्लोमेट की लाइफ में there are many things beyond meetings.
राइट, लाइक
Ultimately you have to essentially promote India's relations with the country wherever you are in. So we are sitting here in Qatar. तो भारत और कतर के बीच में किस तरीके से हम अपने संबंधों को और बढ़ाएं.
राइट,
एंड हम लोग भारत के जो इंटरेस्ट हैं, इंडियाज इंटरेस्ट, हाउ डू वी प्रोटेक्ट देम.
राइट,
So beyond only meetings, you have to keep thinking about how you can take things forward.
ओके,
And I think that's a huge responsibility.
True.
And you have to ideate, you have to come up with new things, you have to have that network, you have to build those partnerships and friendships. तो वो एक constant process रहता है. और कई बार challenges भी होते हैं इन सब में. जैसे अब कोई अगर रीजनल challenges हैं, सिक्योरिटी challenges हैं, उस सबको साथ में लेके आपको देखना है कि आपको किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ना है, इंडिया के इंटरेस्ट को कैसे बढ़ाना है, इंडियंस की कैसे अच्छे से ठीक से सर्विस करनी है. सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर अ पार्ट ऑफ द जॉब ऑफ एन एम्बेसडर इन द एम्बेसी.
व्हिच आर बियॉन्ड इमेजिनेशन.
Yeah, so it's sometimes it can be quite challenging sometimes.
Right.
But one has to be positive. And thankfully sitting here in Qatar, I think हमारे relations बहुत अच्छे हैं, friendly हैं. Indian community इतनी बड़ी है कतर में, तो and active community है. So उससे हम लोग आगे हमेशा बढ़ते रहते हैं.
Right. So like in your life in general, is it a routine 9 to 5 job, a day which starts at this particular time and end up this particular time, or how a typical day looks like in the life of an Indian ambassador?
Well, so we as an ambassador and even as a diplomat, you can never have a 9 to 5 life.
Right. Misconceptions बहुत सारे.
Yeah. So we have to keep working. Sometimes things happen all of a sudden late in the evenings, and then you have to respond to those things. I'll tell you one example.
Please.
We recently I was attending a dinner.
Okay.
And as I was walking into a dinner along with my wife, we got the news that one bus carrying Indian tourists has met with an accident in Kenya. तो उसमें 28 लोग यहाँ से कतर से सारे इंडियंस गए हुए थे केन्या में. और हमारी जो इंडियन कम्युनिटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू ही हमें पता लगा, एंड देन इमीडिएटली वी गॉट इन टच विद आवर एम्बेसी इन नैरोबी. और फिर उनके जरिए हमने जो भी कुछ एक्शंस लेने थे टू सपोर्ट ऑल दिस पीपल हु हैड गॉन फ्रॉम हियर, तो वो हमने लिया. तो अब उस समय आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि अभी रात के 8 बजे है, तो आप उस समय काम करते हैं. तो इस तरीके अब हमारी जो इंडियन कम्युनिटी है वो बहुत बड़ी है अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. सो so it can never be a 9 to 5 job. As it is, there are also a lot of representational duties you have to do. One thing that I've done here in Qatar is मैंने बहुत सारे हमारे जो इंडियन कम्युनिटी प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं उसमें जाता हूँ. जो हमारे दूसरे कंट्रीज़ के यहाँ एम्बेसीज हैं उनके प्रोग्राम्स में हम लोग जाते हैं. तो जो पार्टनरशिप्स हैं, फ्रेंडशिप्स हैं, दोज आर बिल्ट आउटसाइड दोज 9 to 5 आवर्स. तो ऑफिस का एक काम है, लेकिन उसके अलावा बहुत सारा काम है.
इनफैक्ट जब आप ये बात कह रहे थे दैट यू वर आउट विद योर फैमिली, फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट स्टार्ट्स माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. क्योंकि जिस तरह का ये जॉब प्रोफाइल है, इट इज इंडीड वेरी चैलेंजिंग. फैमिली और वर्क बैलेंस डेफिनेटली सफर होता होगा. हाउ डू यू मेंटेन दैट?
No, I don't think. I mean, the family also understands that if government has made you ambassador to a country and you are representing India at the highest level in a country, then of course it's It's a great responsibility. And I think the family always understands. The wife, of course, and the kids also, as they grow up, they also know as to what we are in. So I don't think कि वो work life balance with respect to the family उतना ज़्यादा कोई question होता है. But yeah, once in a while the family would say that time का जो है कि हम लोग को कुछ करना चाहिए.
Right.
And then I always remind them that at least I am here with them. But if you consider the Indian soldier who is serving on the border, they are not even able to live with their families for a very long time.
Yes.
So we have to, when you are serving the country, that time these things are small things.
Absolutely.
So we have to work with that spirit, and I think my family understands that
That's
very well.
It's a blessing actually.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about the stress, the diplomacy, the kind of things which are involved, especially when you have to tackle a typical situation sitting on a foreign land and यहाँ पर रहकर if there is any sensitive issue, because normally क्या होता है कि we feel safe and secure because of you. कुछ भी हो जाएगा, we know embassy is there, and Indian embassy is a big support to the people, to the Indians residing in Qatar.
Yeah.
So in these tricky situations, what is the mantra or what is the philosophy you follow to tackle any sensitive situation, particularly when you are away from home?
Well, I think it goes in our philosophy, and the Indian philosophy, you have to work. अपना काम करो और फल की चिंता मत करो. I think
that's the biggest lesson.
That is a big lesson that our philosophy gives. So we have to be positive. We have to keep working, and we have to work in the right spirit. And I think then everything flows. And thankfully, we represent India. India is such a country which is respected all over the world. We have a lot of strengths as India and as Indians. So I don't think it's such a difficult thing for us to manage whatever comes. We just have to be together and keep working. So that's
a very good. That should be the spirit.
Yeah.
But जब से आप यहाँ पर हैं, अगर हम उतने tenure की बात करें, is there anything specific, challenging, or anything you want to pinpoint, especially that yes, this is the thing you would like to work on in terms of to change or to improve, or yes, there was a particular situation which was challenging. Maybe later on we can avoid certain things to overcome these kind of scenarios. कुछ ऐसा है जो आप कहेंगे?
No, not really. I think India's relations with the Gulf countries and with Qatar, they go back centuries and millennia. And we always talk about the people-to-people ties between our countries. So we have got a very solid foundation of relations with Qatar. And over the past few decades, past few years, ये जो relations हमारे हैं, they have kept on strengthening across different areas. तो चाहे हमारा trade ले लें, चाहे investment ले लें, चाहे political relations ले लें, the equation of Honorable Prime Minister with His Highness here, cultural relations ले लें, energy is a big thing. So there are many aspects of our relationship, and everything is very good. So the challenge then comes as to what more you can do and how you have to do that. So जो नई चीजें आ रही हैं वर्ल्ड में, टेक्नोलॉजी इज अ बिग थिंग. सो टेक्नोलॉजी इज चेंजिंग. सो AI हो, चाहे क्रिप्टो हो, चाहे आपके दूसरे रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी हो. मेनी थिंग्स, प्रिसिशन मेडिसिन इन विच कतर इज कॉन्सेंट्रेटिंग क्वाइट अ बिट. तो इन सब में कैसे मिलके काम कर सकते हैं? आई थिंक दैट आइडिएशन, दैट इज द थिंग दैट वी हैव टू think about more. To
think out of the box.
Think out of the box. Yeah. Think new things that we can do in the relationship, because we already have a very solid foundation.
So I think
that is So that is the aim. I think that is what we have also tried to do through high-level visits between our two countries over the last 2 years.
Right. Yeah. But ये तो हमने अभी तक बात करी His Excellency Mr. Vipul की, लेकिन इस diplomatic world के बाहर आप कौन हैं? What kind of a person you are?
Well, it's very difficult to define. I think it's for others to say. But I would say a normal person with a normal family person is what I am. So once I'm done with the office, I want to spend time with my kids, with my family.
Do you help them out with their homeworks, assignments, and all that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Not always.
Okay, whenever you are, you have
yeah, especially when they have exams.
Okay.
So I do try and see as to what they are doing.
All right.
Yeah, but not every day.
For sure, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
But कभी ऐसा नहीं होता कि मैम कभी आपको कहती हूँ कि नहीं please today I want to go out shopping and you have to come with me, that normal household small little things, small little discussions.
Yeah.
So how do you react? मतलब उस टाइम पर घर पर कौन रूल करता है? The His Excellency tag is outside.
Yeah.
उसके बाद घर का boss कौन है and how do you handle this diplomacy at home?
No, I think look, I mean, anyone who is saying any man who is saying that he is the boss at home is lying. It's a boss is always.
That's honest confession.
Yeah. तो boss तो wife ही है घर पे.
I hope she should watch this.
Yeah, but she decides. Of course, she would not say that she decides. I mean, she would always say that you are the one who are doing it. Yeah. No, but I try and spend some time.
Right.
Shopping becomes a bit of a challenge for me. I normally don't go out shopping.
Okay. Not for yourself?
Not for myself as well. Not too much. Very, very little.
So how do you compensate this? Because every wife, if husband is not supporting,
that's
shopping,
right. Yeah. So my wife has a good grudge against me on this. But yeah, but otherwise I try and spend time with the family. We go out once in a while to watch movies. We travel a little bit here and there.
Right.
Take kids to play zones and all that. So,
Right.
go to restaurants.
May I ask, what kind of a dad you are? Is it like, situational dad?
Yeah.
कि अभी मम्मी का मूड गर्म है तो ठीक है let's avoid it, or like a typical dad, no, this has to be done, that has to be done, or like somebody who's like who's more of a buddy kind of a person with kids because the time has changed.
Correct.
So what kind of a dad you are?
No, I think I would be more of a situational plus buddy kind of.
So diplomatic dad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to be like that.
True.
Yeah, otherwise, sometimes there are situations when you have to tell kids to behave themselves, study, and do things on time, be disciplined, and all that.
So you have to set an example.
Yeah, but otherwise you are friendly with them and you play with them, you visit places with them.
So whenever you get time, I know it's the kind of profile you are in, it's not that easy and that frequent, but जब भी वक्त मिलता है, उस वक्त Mr. Vipul, not the His Excellency Vipul, Mr. Vipul क्या करना पसंद करते हैं? What are your favorites? Do you have any hobbies?
Well, I play a little bit.
Like
any sport,
Anything
sometimes.
Specific?
No, nothing specific. But I have a small son, he's 7 years old.
Oh.
So we play a little bit at home.
Cricket,
badminton,
football,
cricket,
right.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying my hand at golf these days
Nice.
here. I mean, Qatar is a great place for that.
True.
So I'm trying to do these things, and as I said, then watching movies, whether at home or go to a theater, go out, go to some restaurant, and all these normal things.
So if I talk about success, because at the end of the day, when you look back in your journey, when you see that yes, so much have been done, but still there are things. Over the years, do you think the meaning of success has changed for you, or how would you define success in your own terms to you?
Well, success, I think, when I entered civil services, you enter civil services essentially for two things, which is to serve the country and to serve your society.
Exactly.
So I think for me, success would be whether at the end of my journey, maybe retirement and thereafter, whether I have really been able to help the society and whether I've been able to serve the country in some manner or not. And I think that that would really depend on whether I feel satisfied that I was able to give my best, rather than whether others were thinking on those terms or
so
not.
Basically, you can say that to you, success is more of a satisfaction kind of a thing.
Yeah, satisfaction that two things that you set out to do, whether you were in some manner able to contribute to that.
पर ये बताइए कि लाइफ में कभी ऐसा हुआ कि maybe because of a particular incident or a situation, something that turned out to be a teaching or a lesson, and you learned that yes, this is very important to know in life if you want to move ahead.
Well, Not really. I think I can't point out to one incident.
Okay.
Uh,
As a reference.
but I think one continues to keep learning on as you go along. And I think as Indians, we normally as a kid and later on in life, we keep going back to the teachings of our from our culture, which is essentially when Gita talks about you should be doing your deeds and not really think about the fruits. And when in Ramayana you talk about dharma and you have to do good deeds. I think that is what on as your life continues, you kind of that message keeps getting reinforced, that you have to do your work and you have to do good work essentially. I think that is what each of the incidents in life, if there is a setback, you say, okay, setback is there, but I need to keep working.
Right.
And that is something that keeps on happening as you go along.
So do you believe in spirituality?
I do, of course, yeah.
And how you think, because especially when you're away from your homeland, sometimes it is challenging because there are two terms, religion and spirituality.
Yeah.
People often get confused about it.
That's
right? So if
Yeah.
you have to set an example, or if you have to make it understand to somebody, how will you tell them that how spirituality is different from religion, and what is your mantra for that?
Well, I think as I said, if when we are talking about good deeds and the messaging that comes, or the teachings which come through our civilization in India, I think most of those I would say are spiritual in nature. When we talk about doing good deeds, when we talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the whole world is one family, when we talk about dharma, that we have to always do good deeds.
Right.
These are all which are universally applicable. These are not dependent on doing any specific things. This is this applies to entire humanity.
True.
I think that humanism is kind of
And I think,
spiritualism.
yes, as you said, that somewhere down the line, these messages are the base
That's
of
right.
humanity.
Yeah.
But let's change the mood and talk about that. It's the grass is always green on other side, right?
Yeah.
If at all you get an opportunity to change your role, right, to just swap your job with somebody, is there any other particular role you would like to perform in your life, maybe for a day, just to have a change? Or you think that sometimes maybe if I'm in somebody else's shoes, maybe that's a lighter one, or that's a better one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Because
feel
you've
happy
already
and
played so many
contented,
multiple
but no, I mean, being a sportsman or being an entrepreneur, I think those are things that I always admire people doing it.
Right.
Sports, because if you are representing India at the highest level in sports, that I feel in cricket, for example, Sachin Tendulkar used to be
Yes, of course.
a very big name during our times.
True.
Or if you are an entrepreneur, if you have built let's say a big company from scratch, that is also something that is big.
True.
So those are kind of things that one can also wish to do. But I feel very happy and contented in what I'm
very
doing.
much satisfied.
Yes.
So whenever you meet any other young diplomat, right, be it IAS, IFS, IPS, what is one advice you give or you would love to give, which is other than the regular teachings one? Something from your experience.
Well, I think these are regular advice. I mean, these are available in all the books. There are lots of people who have come before us, so all the teachings are there. But I think I would always say that be positive and try and contribute in your own manner.
Right.
And there could be different skill sets or different attributes that a person might have. So essentially, use those to contribute in your own manner.
Just keep going, keep giving.
Yeah.
अब तक की आपकी जर्नी में, because you have had such a rich career, जहाँ you have served government of India back home in India in various other capabilities. You have been to different countries, and in Qatar also you are representing all of us. अब तक की इस पूरी जर्नी में कोई एक ऐसा particular moment या कोई एक ऐसा incident which makes you emotional or proud that, oh, thank God, I'm so glad that I'm able to do this? Any particular thing you remember?
Well, as diplomats, in your postings, your biggest achievements are when you have the highest level visits. So I can say that with great pride, and that during my tenure here in Qatar, we have had the visit of Honorable Prime Minister. So receiving him here in Qatar was that's kind of pinnacle of your career and your posting. And similarly, receiving His Highness the Amir in India earlier this year was again a big moment for me. I was also Consul General in Dubai, and at that time Prime Minister had visited Dubai.
Right.
So that was another moment. And then for 3 years, I worked with then External Affairs Minister Srimati Sushma Swaraj ji. So working with her every day was a lesson.
Oh, really?
And a lesson in how you have to be very humane and how you have to serve the country and the people.
Right.
So that was again something that I feel very happy about, that I got that chance of being with her.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now in Qatar, is there any specific, I would not call it a target, लेकिन एक कोई ऐसी ख्वाहिश, कोई ऐसी wish, या फिर आपके strategic plans में कोई ऐसी चीज which you really want कि मुझे अपने tenure में I have to make sure that this task is done? Anything specific you are working or you wish to complete?
Well, we are working on many different areas.
Anyone which is closest to your heart?
Well, I think one of the efforts that we have been trying to make is how we can work more on the tech side.
Okay.
On the technology side. So we had participation of Indian companies, for example, in the Web Summit in Qatar, which is a big thing. Having more investment relationship between our two countries is another. So we are trying our best in that regard.
Okay.
But on the technology side, both India has great strengths, and Qatar is encouraging innovation and new tech companies and startups.
Right.
And that is something that we are trying to work. If we can have a very solid institution to institution kind of relationship building.
Right.
So that is something that we are trying our best.
That's really great, and for sure that will be very fruitful.
Yeah.
Not just for the people here, but for both the nations as well.
Absolutely.
And now, as you know, that Olive Suno Network, we recently added the Arabic station as well, right?
Yeah.
So we are
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. It's all because of your support. So do you think that now, because Indians are doing so well, not just in Qatar, but everywhere globally, but because we are in Qatar right now. So do you think, or how do you think that we can promote especially tourism, if we talk about, because over here, that it was originally Indian currency, Indian rupiah, right, which was the original currency. Qataris, they are very much keen towards to know and understand the life of Indians, especially royals or Bollywood theme and all that. Do you think that all these small little initiatives can make a big difference, and how can we make sure that tourism especially can be encouraged more in both the countries?
No, I think, first of all, congratulations to Radio Olive Suno for the new Arabic station. I think, as you said, हम लोग का जो relations है with the Arab world, India's relations with the Arab world and Qatar is so historic and so big.
Right.
But I think we need to keep promoting and bringing out various facets of that relationship between India and the Arab world and Qatar. And I think a Arabic station can really play a great part in that.
Exactly, because of the language barrier.
Because of the language, yeah. So that is there. And उसमें जो सबसे बड़ा जब हम रेडियो के माध्यम से अगर कुछ कर सकते हैं, that is promoting these connections between the peoples of two countries, and in that I think tourism plays a big role.
Right.
तो हम लोग Qataris are very fond of India. Many people do go to India. But I think even more can be done, especially telling about all these places in India where people can go. So I think in that a radio can play a great part, whether it be the Ayurveda destinations in, let's say, Kerala, or the shopping destinations in various parts of the country.
True.
medical tourism in different parts of
Especially,
India.
yes.
Taking people to the mountains and to the hills.
Mhm.
I met some of the Qataris who were very interested also in going to Northeast India, for example,
Wonderful.
Sikkim or Darjeeling,
Right.
and these places,
Mhm.
or in Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh.
Right.
So there are so many offerings in India.
Mhm.
Food tourism is big.
Yes.
Then there could be tourism which is attached to festivals. So
Uh-huh.
people going. I see a lot of Qataris going to India during Eid festivals.
Mhm.
So all these things, in a more in a better manner,
Right.
I think can be promoted, and also some of the high value tourism, because many Qataris are interested, for example, in seeing the palaces and forts
Exactly, the royals.
in Rajasthan, for example.
True.
It's a very colorful, beautiful state.
Exactly, yes.
Many people go to Goa,
Uh-huh.
and the offerings of Goa can be brought out even more.
True.
I have seen people going to Ranthambore
Yes.
to see the
Because hare
tigers.
hunting is a passion, so
That's
they
right.
love to enjoy the
Yeah.
wildlife.
Yeah. So wildlife is one. The new one in Gujarat.
Exactly.
All these things can
Right.
definitely be promoted.
And I
through
think the beauty of
radio.
India is that, every part is different from each other.
That's
So
right.
in general, and for sure under your leadership, and I think it's a message to our audience also that we should, in whatever small little capacities we can, we should try to be the ambassador of our own country. And of course, His Excellency is always there. Indian Embassy is there to
Right.
support.
Yeah.
And together, let's try to bridge the
That's
gap.
right. And it's not only I think when we talk about Indian tourism in Qatar,
Ji.
it's not only about the Qatari community. It's also about expats who are living
Expats.
here.
Very true.
And also Indians themselves. Many people in Kerala would not have seen North India. And
It's very common,
sitting here in Doha, you can go
Yes.
to North India, or North Indians would not have seen Kerala, for example, or Tamil Nadu. And
True.
From here, all flights are available.
Exactly.
So
That's another.
one can take
Yes.
advantage of that as well.
Right. So I think now with this, we have entered to the next phase of this podcast, which is
Okay.
playing some unfiltered shots with Anu. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, sir. So this is, we call it playing some unfiltered shots with Anu. Here, you have to be very spontaneous, raw and real. You were
Okay.
there throughout the
Yeah.
interview, the interaction rather, I would say. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So one word, your family or close friends would use to describe you.
Simple, I guess.
Okay. How will you define diplomacy?
Partnerships.
Okay. Are you a foodie at heart?
Yes, absolutely.
What's your favorite dish?
Chole bhature.
Perfect. That sounds like a typical North Indian. Okay. So what's a common misconception people have about ambassadors?
Protocol requirements, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you please explain?
So a lot of people feel that ambassadors means there will be a lot of protocol and they would be away from people, etc. But these days, ambassadors do real work
Uh-huh.
with people and building friendships and partnerships and taking forward relationships between two countries.
Right. So one thing about Qatar that truly stole your heart.
People and their friendliness towards India.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
If not diplomacy, then what?
Probably entrepreneurship in some manner.
Okay. Formal suits or kurta pajama?
These days, both. I feel very comfortable in suits as well. Yeah.
Okay. One life mantra always stays with you.
Be positive.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
most Indian thing you carry wherever you go.
Everything. I think I'm an Indian at heart.
Any one particular thing.
No, nothing in particular. I mean, everything.
Okay.
It's
So
like
your stress buster after a hectic day.
playing with my son.
Lovely.
Yeah.
If your life had a title, what it would be?
Oh, very difficult. I don't know.
Give it a try.
Being helpful. in
Okay.
some manner.
Right. So formal state dinners or chai pakoras, the
Yeah,
loud ones.
Chai pakoda.
Oh, perfect.
Anytime.
That's like, that's the vibing thing.
Yeah.
Okay. A diplomatic skill that works equally well at home.
Communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am should listen to this. Okay. A habit your colleagues seriously, secretly admire, but they will never say it out loud.
Oh, if it's secret, I would not know. I mean,
But
it's
still.
like
Something which they admire, but like, they are not very vocal about it.
I don't know. I think connection with people
Okay.
overall.
So, one thing you miss most about India when you're abroad? It can be any festival, any particular thing.
Friends and relatives.
Okay. If you could time travel, which phase of your life would you like to revisit?
Oh, as a kid back in India in Roorkee, perhaps I did my class 1 to 5 there.
Lovely. Any
Yeah.
specific memory you want to revisit or you want to share with our viewers?
No, I mean I had lots of
Bachpan
friends in that age group at that time there, and so
Wonderful.
we used to play around quite a
So,
bit.
are there any specific things you miss doing now?
No, not really.
So,
Yeah.
you're a free kind of a person?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Any one hidden desire other than professionally?
Traveling much more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your source of inspiration?
Source of inspiration is I think our heritage, the Indian thought.
Mhm.
I think that is the source of inspiration. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what is that particular destination you want to visit because you want to travel more? Any specific?
Many things.
Really? What's on the card then?
No, I mean nothing on the cards,
Uh-huh.
but going to places like Iceland, for example, or
Oh.
to Japan. I've never been.
Or Northern Lights probably.
Yeah, Northern Lights. Yeah, those.
So, one piece of advice you would love to share to our listeners, to viewers, to everybody who's watching this interview.
Well, I always say that keep working for the society and for the nation. I think that is something that we all have to do.
Okay. So, one small thing that instantly makes your day better. बस ये हो जाए तो सब कुछ हो गया. Something like that. Something very small. Maybe a cup of tea or a nice smile or whatever.
Yeah. So. Cup of tea is something.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So
early
we are down to chai
morning.
pakoras.
Yeah. The without bed tea, I can't start my day.
Oh, wow.
So that has to be there.
I'm glad you're making all these confessions. Okay, so books or podcasts?
I think books.
Any
Yeah.
specific, any favorite book or
No,
something you admire?
nothing specific.
Hmm?
But I think books bring many more dimensions into play.
And
Podcasts
discipline
are
as
very small. And,
Right.
Yeah.
You like music?
Yes.
What it means to you in your life?
Very much. But essentially Hindi film music.
Okay.
So that is.
So, any particular all-time favorite song?
No, not any particular, but
Mhm.
Jagjit Singh ghazals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
So
a
that
hidden
is-
side.
Yeah.
Any specific one? गुनगुना के सुनाएंगे फिर मजा आ जाएगा.
No, no. I think
At least just
your
sing a little.
listeners will switch off the radio.
Not at all. They would love to see that side.
Yeah. No, I nothing specific, but
Mhm.
there are many.
So you're a
that,
Jagjit fan?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
What about Olive Suno Radio Network?
Oh, wonderful! You're doing a great job.
Great.
So, yeah, once in a while when I'm driving a car,
Mhm.
I do hear FM channels, but
Okay.
of course we connect on a number of Indian community programs,
Right.
and I think your channel is doing a great service to the Indian listeners here, and also listeners of several other
That
nationalities.
means a lot.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about Life Unfiltered with Anu?
Oh, wonderful! Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
No,
you.
but on this
Enjoyable.
very note, thank you so much. And before we wrap up, I would really like to request that is there any specific message you would like to convey to all our viewers who are watching this podcast, who are getting to know this side of His Excellency, Mr. Vipul?
Well, messages are aplenty,
Mhm.
but my message will always be that we all represent India here,
Right.
and as our Honorable Prime Minister many a time says,
Gee.
that I am the ambassador. That is only a formality, but every Indian who is living abroad is an ambassador of India,
Very true.
and therefore we have to keep the flag of India high.
Mhm.
We have to be very, very disciplined, and we have to always put our best foot forward
Mhm.
and take forward India and India-Qatar relationship.
Wonderful. With this very note, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah,
May
thank you.
more power to
Good
you.
pleasure.
Keep growing, keep guiding us, and for sure, under your leadership, we would love to see to achieve all this, whatever you have planned
Yes,
for us.
definitely.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, this was the journey of His Excellency Mr. Vipul, Ambassador of India to the State of Qatar. और आज की इस कहानी में एक बात साफ है, वो ये कि कर्म करते जाइए, फल की इच्छा मत करिए. Keep moving, keep growing. जो आपके लिए है, वो definitely आप तक जरूर पहुंचेगा. That's all from today. Very soon with another interesting episode of Life Unfiltered with Anu. I'll see you again. Till then, stay raw, stay real, and keep watching Life Unfiltered with Anu. Stay tuned to Radio Olive Suno Network and take good care of yourself. See ya.